M.Forster's A Room with a View, first published in 1908, is a novel of love, self-discovery, and social conventions. Set between Italy and England at the beginning of the 20th century, it combines gentle satire with a profound exploration of personal freedom. Though rooted in Edwardian society, its themes of passion, conformity, and the courage to embrace life have ensured its continuing appeal. The story begins in Florence, where Lucy Honeychurch, a young English woman from an upper-middle-class family, is traveling with her older cousin, Charlotte Bartlett. They are disappointed to find their hotel room lacks a view of the River Arno, which they had hoped for. Fellow guests, Mr. Emerson and his son George, overhear their complaint and gallantly offer to exchange rooms. Charlotte, ever conscious of propriety, is reluctant, but Lucy accepts, setting the tone for the encounters that follow. The Emersons are unconventional, open, honest, and untroubled by the rigid codes of behavior that govern English society. They contrast with the priggish Miss Bartlett and the other English tourists, whose snobbery and repression Forster satirizes. A turning point comes when Lucy witnesses a violent murder in a Florentine square. Overcome with shock, she is helped by George, who comforts her. This incident sparks a deeper, if unspoken, bond between them. Soon afterwards, the party visits the Italian countryside. Amid the beauty of the fields and hills, Lucy wanders off and finds herself alone with George. In a moment of spontaneity and passion, he kisses her. The act shocks Lucy, and Charlotte, horrified at the breach of decorum, swiftly intervenes. She insists they cut short their Italian holiday, dragging Lucy away to Rome in the hope of erasing the incident. Back in England, Lucy attempts to restore order to her life. She accepts the proposal of Cecil Vyse, a wealthy and refined young man of impeccable social standing. Cecil embodies the conventional ideals of Lucy's family and social circle: cultured, proper, yet coldly condescending. He views Lucy not as an independent spirit, but as an ornament to complement his status. Just as Lucy resigns herself to this match, fate intervenes. The Emersons move into a nearby villa, introduced by Cecil himself in a careless attempt at irony. George and Lucy are thrown together once more, and the old feelings resurface. George challenges Lucy to be honest with herself and confront her true desires. Despite her attraction to George, Lucy clings to denial, insisting she loves Cecil. She convinces herself that George represents danger, impulsiveness, and social disgrace. Yet others begin to notice her inner conflict. The clergyman Mr. Beebe observes Lucy's potential for passion and authenticity, contrasting it with her present path of repression. Eventually, George confronts Lucy directly, declaring his love and urging her to reject convention. He argues that Cecil's coldness and self-absorption will suffocate her spirit, while their own connection is genuine and alive. Torn between duty and desire, Lucy dismisses George angrily. Charlotte, too, reinforces the voice of propriety, reminding Lucy of her mistake in Italy. But Lucy cannot suppress her emotions. She breaks off her engagement to Cecil, who, in a rare moment of honesty, admits he never truly understood her. This decision marks Lucy's first act of real independence. Still, she hesitates to embrace George fully. Influenced by Charlotte, she plans to escape abroad rather than confront her heart. It is only after a conversation with Mr. Emerson that Lucy's denial collapses. He speaks with frank kindness, urging her to seize happiness rather than live by the world's narrow expectations. He reminds her that love is rare and should not be sacrificed for appearances. Moved by his sincerity, Lucy finally acknowledges her feelings. The novel concludes with Lucy and George returning to Florence, occupying the very room with a view that had once eluded her. The symbolic setting reflects Lucy's liberation. She has chosen passion and authenticity over convention. Their union, while not free of challenges, suggests the possibility of a more genuine and fulfilling life. One of the central themes of A Room with a View is the conflict between convention and personal freedom. Lucy's journey charts her struggle between the rigid expectations of Edwardian society and the call of her own instincts. Cecil represents the weight of convention, proper, socially advantageous, but emotionally barren, while George represents honesty, spontaneity, and authenticity. Forster highlights the courage required to step beyond societal approval in order to live truly. Another theme is the tension between repression and passion. The English tourists in Italy cling to their codes of propriety, even in a setting full of vitality and beauty. Lucy's awakening comes through her exposure to Italy. With its open landscape, art, and unguarded emotions, Italy symbolizes liberation, while England represents repression and stasis. The novel suggests that love and vitality must overcome fear and convention if life is to have meaning. Social class and snobbery are also targets of Forster's satire. The Vyse family and other tourists pride themselves on refinement, yet their attitudes are narrow and lifeless. By contrast, the Emersons, dismissed as socially inferior, are the most humane and sincere. Forster critiques the rigid class structures of Edwardian England, pointing to the hollowness behind them. The role of women is another key theme. Lucy's choice reflects the struggle of Edwardian women to assert independence in a society that sought to confine them. Her eventual defiance of expectation signals a step towards selfhood and autonomy. Although written in 1908, A Room with a View remains deeply relevant. Its exploration of authenticity versus conformity resonates in any age where individuals struggle against social pressures. Lucy's decision to choose love and honesty over status reflects a universal human dilemma, and her courage to embrace her desires makes her an enduringly sympathetic heroine. The novel has also influenced modern literature and film. Forster's sharp critique of Edwardian values anticipated broader cultural shifts, including the questioning of class divisions and gender roles in the 20th century. His treatment of Italy as a metaphor for vitality and liberation inspired later writers who contrasted cultures to explore inner freedom. Cinematic adaptations have helped to cement the novel's place in modern culture. Most notably, the 1985 film directed by James Ivory, starring Helena Bonham Carter, Julian Sands, and Maggie Smith, brought the story vividly to life. The film's lush visuals and sensitive portrayal of the novel's themes won widespread acclaim, introducing the work to new generations. It remains one of the most beloved adaptations of classic English literature. The phrase, "a room with a view," has itself entered popular usage, symbolizing not only physical beauty, but also a wider perspective, a life lived openly rather than within narrow constraints. In today's world, where questions of authenticity, identity, and freedom remain central, A Room with a View speaks with undiminished force. Its satire of hypocrisy, its celebration of sincerity, and its belief in the transformative power of love continue to inspire readers and audiences.